17 weeks down on YouTube, 17 Trash Talk podcasts later, and JJ and I still haven't figured out how to make this work. JJ, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
And we're going to be talking about some interesting stuff today.
Yes, we are.
Are you hyped?
I don't get hyped.
He stays hyped.
So yes, I'm hyped.
So you are hyped. And I don't need to answer the question anymore. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Because you stay hyped. Okay, what do we got for the first topic?
So, the first topic is us going to space.
We're going to space. Wait, is that the title of the video?
No.
Are we baiting for clicks?
And we'll see.
Going to space? Space travel. Space travel.
I mean, we live in a day and age where soon enough, space travel will not only be affordable to the ultra-rich, but also to the average upper-class citizens.
The average Joe, general.
The average millionaire.
The average millionaire. All right. Okay, technically, humankind has traveled to space before.
Yes.
Starting with Yuri Gagarin of the Soviet Union, and the humankind has traveled to the moon before, starting with Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin.
Yes.
Right. So, a few things about space travel, right? It's pretty hard.
Yeah, but SpaceX, for example, is working on making it commercially affordable.
Yes, it's also very expensive.
So what's happening right now is we're less on top of the whole space exploration thing. Like NASA's not really sending shit up there anymore.
Not that much, no.
Not that much, but private companies are starting to try to get people to space, like normal people, not like astronauts. And
like
of course, they're trying to make money from it.
Of course,
that's why they do
business. That's what humans have always done.
So, you don't expect SpaceX anytime soon to go to Mars, but if there is enough interest, they will definitely go to the moon.
They will go to the moon.
Like,
and
once they can make it cheap enough that they can pack a spaceship full of people that want to go to the moon, send them out there, maybe have a walk in a spacesuit, and then go back.
Would you go to the moon?
If it was cheap enough. Probably.
Name a price.
Oh, that's hard, man.
That is hard. Name a price in two given situations. 10 years from now, we're average Joes. 10 years from now, we're millionaires off of YouTube.
I mean, the point's gotta be, it can't really be more than the money you make in half a year. Cannot be.
That's tough.
Because at that point, you're just wasting a lot of money.
I mean,
half a year is already a lot.
I would say it's like the amount of money that you're willing to spend on a regular vacation. It's like 2 weeks of going to Hawaii, nice hotel, It's like trip to the moon, 2 days.
Yeah.
It's like how long does it take to get up there?
That's what I was just thinking when you said 2 days.
It's like, how long does it even take?
I don't think it takes that long.
Does it not take that long?
I don't know though.
We need to figure it out, obviously, right?
But yeah, it's maybe double the amount you would be willing to pay for a normal vacation.
Yep.
And then just maybe next year you're not going on a vacation, but you went to the moon.
You went to the moon. But you would really have to be into that because, I mean, it is the moon. What do you do out there? You do nothing, right?
It's mostly a thing so that you can be oh, I was on the moon once.
Yeah, right.
And hey, gravity was lower there. Exactly. That's fun.
So unless you're really into being on the moon and bragging about having been on the moon, you'd probably decide against that.
Yeah.
Given the same price, right? Imagine 2 weeks of the Caribbean, Miami, Hawaii. Nice.
Way too hot.
Nice places. Alaska.
The moon is way more. The moon is way better when it comes to temperature.
That's possibly true. Yeah.
Now it's way too cold up there.
Yeah, spacesuits.
I was about to say, without a spacesuit, you can't. I mean, besides the air problem, there's also pressure and temperature.
But
actually, it wouldn't be that cold up there. I mean, temperature-wise, sure.
Yes.
But the pressure would compensate for that.
That is true. But imagine 2 weeks in the old San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah, of course.
Golden Gate Bridge. I mean, come on. So you really have to be into the moon. I would definitely consider that.
Yeah.
Say we've been to all kinds of other places, touring the world with the YouTube channel, making the money.
Dude, once they start regularly going to the moon, Do you think they will start building like smaller like
Hotels?
stations on the moon where people stay for extended periods of time just to entertain the people that come to the moon as tourists?
Of course.
Like we start making cafes up there and stuff.
Yeah.
Getting through like
Building like a huge glass dome where there's
Yeah.
oxygen down there.
exactly.
That would be something, definitely.
I mean, you can still not stay there for like extended periods of time because your body will try to adapt to lower gravity,
Yeah,
which is not good
That's
once
not
you come back to Earth.
that's true. Because your muscles will be weaker and all that shit.
Yeah, but like once we go to the moon as more of like a trivial thing,
Yeah. Well, it's like
you would think they would try to establish enterprises on the moon.
yeah,
as
why,
well.
what is like their flights going there every other day.
Yeah,
It's like usual airline travel.
like even if it's like once a week or so, I could see people staying up there for like a month to work on the moon.
Yeah.
And have a cafe on the moon, like
It's cool.
have something that sells cheese on the moon because
Cheese because the moon is made of cheese.
Exactly.
They just dig out something off the ground and just serve it.
Have a restaurant up there called the Cheese Mine.
The cheese mine. You're already making plans. There probably is a thing called the cheese mine
Maybe.
on Earth, and if there is, we might have to find that. We might have to go there. That's a vlog, a future vlog.
Maybe.
Once we do face reveal 50k subs. Hey! If you want to see us go to the cheese mine, get us to 50k. We'll do it. Are we doing it?
We're doing it.
We're doing it. If there's no cheese mine, we're making one.
We'll make one.
We'll make one. Mine cheese. and then keep it to ourselves, right? Because cheese.
Cheese is good.
Cheese is pretty good.
It depends on the type of cheese.
It's not all that healthy for you, though.
What type of cheese?
What type of cheese, though? I'm not pulling the whole promo. I'm not pulling the whole. All right. Back to the moon.
Of went a bit off topic there, yeah.
Moon.
So yeah, would definitely be interesting to do. The question is, how far do you think humanity will go within our lifetime in space?
Our lifetime, given that no significantly life prolonging stuff.
Yeah.
Like in 50 years, people can grow to 200, 300 years, which we would still be affected by.
It's just normal lifespan.
Assuming we'd go 80 years old.
Yeah, sure. We can assume 80, 90, 100 if we want to because medicine gets better, but
Yes.
nothing extreme we'll be immortal by then. Or
Okay,
something.
I'm gonna say with no outside influence, like alien technology, all that stuff.
Yeah, of course,
because that's
you can't
also
really
something that
expect
you need to be accounted for. Definitely moon tourism,
Yeah.
the way we described it, somewhat complete, like colonizing the moon, tough.
There's
Maybe.
no natural resources there.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Now there is the thought about colonizing Mars.
Yeah.
I mean, we will definitely go to Mars. There will be people on Mars.
Will we though?
Yes.
Because again, the private enterprises aren't going to go to Mars unless they know it's going to pay out.
I mean,
That's a huge risk.
there is the project of colonizing Mars and having people stay there.
If we keep our relatively peaceful times, especially in the Western world.
Relatively peaceful.
That's why I said especially in the Western world.
Peaceful.
We're not at all-out war.
We are not at all-out war, but we've been at the brink of all-out war for the better part of a fucking 100
Basically,
years.
as long as it stays as it is, I'm not sure if we will go to Mars. Once there's more tension and a war starts breaking out, maybe
Big time.
there might be reasons. They might think that there's a strategic advantage to controlling space again, which is how a lot of the space missions originally happened.
Project Horizon. The United States were planning to build a base on the moon.
Exactly.
A base on the moon to transfer their president and other important people to in case of the Cold War getting hot.
And, that could be a big incentive.
But it could also be, it could also prevent them from doing it because then they'll start spending all their money on war again.
Yeah.
And they will,
true.
and they won't be working together no more, right? It would be way more efficient if all the space powers like the United States, Russia, maybe China, India work together on that one project.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, during the Cold War, NASA had a way bigger budget than they have now.
That's true. But, I mean, so at the military, I would believe.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not sure if NASA is gonna go anywhere that far anytime soon. Because they don't have the money and resources for it. Because the government's not willing to spend that money because they don't see the profit in there.
They want to spend it on
Same
more.
thing for the companies. They don't see the profit in going there.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, the profit of government should be science. Right?
Yes, but idealistically, of course. But obviously, realistically, that's not how that works.
I do still hope for that project to come to fruition, though, colonizing Mars. There has been talks about, like, around 2030.
Yeah.
Type of stuff. And that also puts up the question, which I think we had a similar one. Definitely discussed it before. Would you do it? Go to Mars, stay there. Stick around.
Probably not, unless they are, like, somewhat far in the colonization process. To a point where...
You could definitely survive there without wearing a suit all day long.
Yeah, that stuff, and have the general, like, infrastructure and tech somewhat established.
Yeah.
Which I guess is some of the first things they would do, to be fair.
Yeah, stable connection, communication to Earth.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Once we're there, sure, that definitely sounds interesting.
That is all... would you seek that just for, like, okay, I'm by myself now, I'm getting rid of the rest of those bastards? Or you'd be like, okay, this is an opportunity to live a better life than we could do on Earth.
Also, it's an opportunity to find new things. Like, we don't have that much that we can explore on Earth anymore.
That's true.
Like, we know almost everything there is to know about Earth. Like,
deep sea.
I was about to say, deep sea is kind of something, but besides that, we know a lot about Earth.
We know the planet.
Mars? Not so much.
Not so much.
And even if we send people to Mars, it's going to take a while to figure out everything about Mars.
I mean, there is less to find out on Mars than there is on Earth.
Sure.
But we don't know. Like, there might have life existed on Mars.
Exactly.
Maybe life does exist on Mars. Like some like a bit under the Earth.
Like probing the Earth, archaeological digging, that kind of stuff.
Mars. Probing Mars.
Probing the ground is what I was getting at.
Probing the ground on Mars.
The problem is that Earth is a word with too many meanings.
That is true. It means the dirt on the ground, and
which is what I meant.
And it means the planet.
So, just the whole scientific aspect of it would be very interesting. Like, yes. I don't think we can learn more on Earth than we could on Mars.
No, I don't think so. It's tough. I mean, we still haven't discovered a lot of species of everything on Earth.
Yeah.
That's a thing. And there's probably less species to discover on Mars.
We don't know. There might have been life.
There might have life. There might still be micro life forms.
Yeah.
Bacterial stuff under the Earth. We don't know that. There was definitely water. There is water.
And where there's water, there's life.
There could be life.
It could be life. Yeah, that's true.
Could be life.
So, that would definitely be... So yeah, it would definitely be interesting to find out what there is to find on Mars.
And other planets too, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, what planets can we really land on? Like, the following planets, like Jupiter is gaseous.
I was about to say gas giants, not so much.
Can't really land
We need a solid surface.
Venus?
Wait, we couldn't land on gas giants, but we could put something in their orbit.
Of course.
Like a space station type deal.
Sure.
Like a satellite space station.
I mean, we send stuff past, like, through the entire solar system.
Yeah.
Like the Voyager satellites? Not satellites, but probes. Like,
yeah.
Did they not already pass Pluto?
I don't know.
Which is not a planet, by the way. Jerry.
I know.
Jerry. Stupid. Pluto is not a planet.
There is bigger objects in our solar system than Pluto. Like,
yes.
that are not considered planets.
Yeah. Like, this is rock. It's like, a rock.
There's 2 big asteroid belts in our solar system. Pluto is part of one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of the same belt, there is one object that they found that's definitely larger than Pluto.
Yeah. So why is Pluto a planet? Why would Pluto be a planet?
Because back in the day, there was, like, we found like 9 big objects, and it was like, yeah, that's the planets.
That's the planets. Gotta be.
But now that we have a more precise definition, Pluto just doesn't fit.
No, it does not.
Also, and we can't define planets as like, oh yeah, like it's objects that orbit the sun, like, that have, you know, that kind of stuff. Get a bit
in that case,
have satellites of their own, and then like, oh, and Pluto. That's not how you define something.
In that case, there would be like a bunch of planets.
I think part of that is like the regular orbit around the sun, which Pluto doesn't have. It's more like an ellipse.
Yep.
And so do a lot of the smaller objects. I think there might be a size requirement, and then of course the ability to have satellites of your own, like moons, basically.
Which I believe most planets do.
Yeah,
I believe Mercury does not have one.
I don't know. Like Saturn has like 12.
Saturn has technically Saturn has tens of thousands because all the rocks that make up those rings. Yeah.
I think it was Saturn,
Jupiter has something in the Jupiter has something in the 20s. I think Uranus has 12. Mars has 2.
Yeah, it's like, dude, there's like Earth had 2.
Earth had 2.
At least that's suspected that Earth had 2.
We now have
and
one.
that the second moon is what caused the extinction of dinosaurs when that fell.
Yeah, possible. So when is our moon falling now?
Well, on its own it wouldn't fall. Like something would have to crash into it that drives it towards the Earth.
Like another moon? Be like, out the way, son?
Which is what they suspected happened with the second moon. Although that is not necessarily confirmed.
We was not around when that happened.
Exactly.
Luckily.
It could have also just been the old theory, like that it's just a meteor that hit.
That's true, yeah.
But meteors hit the atmosphere a lot of times and would have had to be relatively large, which is why it would make sense if it was a natural satellite of the Earth.
Potentially. So yeah, Jupiter and Saturn have bunches of moons, like all kinds. There is the thing with like there is I think moons of Saturn which are some of the most interesting thing. Like it's I think it's called Europa.
Yeah, Europa's one.
That's one of the most.
I believe is also one.
Titan. That's some of the most interesting places for expedition with the potential of finding microbiological life. What are you saying?
When Rick was like, "Oh, sorry, I was on the wrong moon." After 12, you should really start numbering instead of naming.
Yeah. That's true. Like when the planet has like bunches of moons, it's like name, and it's like number.
One of the more mind blowers when Beth was like, "Epic summer." And then Rick came out and was like, "Oh, sorry, I'd landed on the wrong moon."
Yeah.
After 12, you should really start numbering instead of naming.
Yeah, that's true.
Great
scene.
Yeah,
Europa is the one that's called. With like I think there's water on there too. Like ice, something type
But moons, I think, are way less likely to have life as opposed to planets. Because of the simple fact that their distance to the sun varies way more.
Yeah,
because they're orbiting a planet that is in turn orbiting the sun.
You think there's gonna be life on Saturn and Jupiter? Don't think so.
No.
It's gas.
But I'm saying like Earth's moon, if it had water and an atmosphere, could potentially support life, but it would be like the sun would not directly hit the moon when it's on the other side of the Earth.
Yes.
And that would happen constantly.
And it would be a while because Jupiter is quite big.
Yeah.
Or Saturn. They're pretty fat.
That would be crazy if there was like a big planet orbiting a sun with a like Earth-sized moon that orbited the planet slowly and had perfect conditions for life.
Yeah.
Like simple life would start to develop.
Yeah.
And then they're getting an ice age because they're on the wrong side of the planet. And then it repeats.
You think it circles the planet like
slowly
so
enough
many years, like thousands of years
to get at least like
for evolution to start?
Not like to a human level or anything, but like maybe multi-celled organisms or at least like single-celled organisms, and then they just die.
That takes millions of years, though.
Yeah.
Could that happen? That happen?
Like I guess the evolution would have to be relatively quick, and the planet and the moon relatively slow.
That would be really cool. It depends on like the size of all the things. Like it'd be a huge star, huge planet.
Yeah.
To reach the longest possible time of rotation. That would be cool. That's what I call the circle of life.
Oh.
Right.
Because it's the orbit, yeah.
Right? And there's life, and then there's no
Oh.
life. And then there's life again. And then there's no life. That-
Although, I guess fishes might be able to, like deep in the ocean, they might be able to survive the ice age for a while.
Yeah.
So there could be a moon with life on it.
Yep.
And in the oceans freeze over, and then when it's back to the sun, they start.
They thaw up, and then maybe
work.
that planet, that type of planet would long term, or moon, long term just remain sea creatures though.
Yeah,
Right.
of course there wouldn't be any land creatures because it would.
Yeah, like humans wouldn't evolve.
If amphibians would start to evolve and they would go on land and then suddenly freeze over,
Ice
they would
Ages-
die off.
Yeah, shit.
And they could never get anywhere.
Yeah.
Except for the like very primitive amphibian stages.
Exactly.
Which
It's
would
like-
all die off.
It's like we get a wave of amphibians every 10,000 years or so,
Yeah, it's like
like cicadas but on steroids.
there's like a few amphibians here and there and they just die off again. It's like no, that's not working.
That planet would be limited to that.
Would that planet evolve into intelligent aquarian life though? Like human level intellect?
Phew. I'm not sure about that.
Because if the sea creatures kept evolving,
Yeah.
you would think that they would get more intelligent as well.
That is true, but they would be lacking things such as a sense of sight.
Yes.
I mean, it's hard to even describe that. You don't even know if those life forms would be carbon based.
Yeah,
or
that's true.
whatever they would be.
Also, communication would be harder underwater.
Communication would be tough. I mean,
Because you can't
it's
communicate
definitely-
over signs because you can't see.
It's definitely
You can't really
yeah.
hear anything down there, or at least not that well.
Yeah.
Also, you can't really talk in the way that humans do.
It would be mostly like waves, like sharks already operate, and
yeah.
sea creatures on our planet operate. Dolphins and all they communicate amongst each other. Fish swarms,
Yeah.
all that, but it's definitely not our place to say that that's not possible or whatever, not plausible, because we don't even know. We wouldn't even know the first thing. It could be completely different. They could have senses that we don't even know about.
Yeah, but naturally, when you think of space, that's the kind of crazy shit you come up with.
Of course,
Like, what would happen?
there
What
might
if
be
there was life on this crazy moon.
There
that,
might be an Atlantis somewhere around the place. We don't know that. That's the beauty of it though. Because okay, let's say like connect us back to travel, right?
Yes.
Like to travel to those areas.
It would be crazy if we met other intelligent life. Like,
Yeah.
like basically, when I say intelligent life, like cavemen and up.
All right.
Because everything below them we
Yeah.
would just consider animals.
Yeah.
But caveman level, I mean, for
Like
For them, we-
sentient,
them,
self-aware.
yeah, I mean, they would be self-aware if they're caveman level.
Yeah.
Which is around, yeah, but
I was just trying to find the difference. Sentient and self-aware.
yeah, exactly. So that would also
They
be
are
interesting.
moral agents.
Because at that point, how would we interact with them?
Mm-hmm.
If they are on such a low level, they would not pose a threat to us. Which is
kill 'em-
good,
kill 'em off
because
and
we wouldn't start waging war on them.
Kill
maybe.
them off and exploit them as humans do.
Oh yeah, they would become the new slave race.
Have
wouldn't they?
we never done that before?
I could totally see that happening. Them
Exactly.
being like, they're worth less than us. They are not really humans.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Us encountering a different like life form, intelligent life form, usually would end bad for at least one of those. Like,
Yeah.
if it would end bad for the one that's less intelligent,
Yeah.
because we have a tendency to give everything a bad time that's less intelligent than us.
Yeah, and if someone was
Even
more
ourselves.
intelligent, we might just be afraid of them and start a war, and then of course they're
Of course, they
more developed
yeah,
and they take us out.
knock us out.
But let's maybe stop with all the grim stuff and get into the halftime show.
Go
because
get into the halftime show.
we are getting a bit off topic from the travel aspect.
But I still want to know some from the people, right?
yes.
What's your stand on space travel, man? Would you like to travel to space, moon, Mars? How far would you go?
Colonize another planet or just go there for a weekend?
Yeah, you could be like, okay, realistically, okay, would you travel to the moon for like a week or not? Or like, I'll go completely nuts and be like, okay, I'm assuming cryogenically freezing myself, like traveling through space for thousands of years.
Whoa.
Like what types of limits would you personally explore and why?
But cryogenics gets tough because you just don't get anything around you anymore. Like the tech is too advanced. You would have to basically start from a level of where like a 14-year-old child would start.
It's like what are we doing?
Or even lower than that.
Yeah, but like you could write a science fiction novel in the comments if you want to. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Do that if you really want.
Do that if you want to. I mean, I mean, we're gonna read it. Oh, we're gonna read it.
Hey, if there's some good stuff in there, maybe we'll talk about it later on.
Yeah, but JJ did prepare a halftime show for me. So JJ, what did you prepare for today?
So, I mean, we all know you are the sports guy.
I am the sports guy, very much so. Even though JJ is learning about football.
So I prepared a little quiz from you with questions I took from the internet.
The internet?
From the internet.
That's really innovative of you.
And
really good.
I put some football questions.
All right.
But also I put some wrestling questions because it's easier for me to evaluate if those are actually good questions.
The wrestling questions, that's.
Because for the football questions, I don't know if some of those sound really easy, others sound really hard.
Okay.
But I just rather don't know.
It depends. Like football questions could be easy when it's just like asking for a specific player who did this and this, like very specific thing, or like what team won this and this
much.
But you know what? How many questions do you got? Do you got 20?
I got no. I got 5 football questions, and I got 4 wrestling questions. But there is a follow up to 2 of those.
To 2 of them, wrestling ones.
So
right?
2 wrestling ones, yes.
Okay.
So
let me have it.
All of those questions were originally multiple choice questions.
Right.
I'm gonna ask you the question.
Yeah.
Then you have the chance to answer. If you don't know, I'm gonna give you the options.
That's a good idea. Okay, you start in wrestling questions or football questions?
I'm starting with football questions.
Alright, football questions.
How many rushers rushed for 2,000 or more yards in a single season?
Alright. Okay, let me think of names. I know. Do you know? Like, were there explanations to it?
Nope, they were just numbers.
I know Chris Johnson did it. I think Eric Dickerson did it. I'm not sure about LaDainian Tomlinson, and not sure about Walter Payton. I would like right now. I'd be saying like 3-4 type of scenario, but give me the numbers.
0, 5, 7, 8, 11.
All right, so a bit more. It's not 0 because I remember Chris Johnson doing it. Did Gale Sayers do it though? No, Bo Jackson did not do it. I know that Barry Sanders got close once. 5. It's probably either 5 or 7.
Final answer?
Let me think real quick. I'm trying to think of a name. More time. I'm gonna just say 5.
It's 7.
It's 7. All right, I'm gonna need to find out who that is. So it's probably most of those that I mentioned. You don't know who it is, right?
No.
Didn't write it down. All right, next question.
What team won the most Super Bowls?
Right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 6 Super Bowls.
And the next question was, how many Super Bowls did the Steelers win?
6 Super Bowls.
Which would be 6, yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
So those answers were both correct.
Yeah. Next would be the 49ers, the Cowboys, and the Patriots, all with 5.
So those were also other options for the multiple choice part.
Okay. I guess, because they won a lot. So far, Steelers.
What's the most yards a running back has rushed for in a single game?
In a single game. Did I say who it was?
No. Again, I don't know the football stuff. I just know the answers that the quiz gave.
Rushing yards.
I also can't guarantee that all of those are correct.
Okay. That would be somewhere in the 200s. Between 200 and 300. I'm not sure if someone broke the 300-yard mark in a single game once. But 200 is definitely possible. Did Chris Johnson do that too at one point? There have been some crazy games by running backs. Did I get the exact number?
They did give an exact number.
All right.
Should I give you the 5 numbers?
Give me
today
the 5
offered?
numbers, yeah.
196, 286, 295, 296. That I thought it was the asshole move. Those are so close.
Yeah.
315.
I don't think it was a 300 number, but I did guess quite like around 200. What was the second number they gave?
286.
That's what I'm taking.
So, according to that quiz, it was 296.
Okay, but that was close.
Again, I thought it was an asshole move to put 295 and 296.
Is that just okay? One question: is this just NFL, or is this like college football?
It wasn't. The category was called. The quiz was, I think, called NFL.
NFL. Okay.
Stuff. Yeah, NFL.
Because it would
NFL
be interesting,
was-
first of all, to know who did it and in what year.
I mean, you can look that up afterwards. if you want to.
I can look that up.
How many passing touchdowns did the third highest ranking player have? What?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you know who it is?
No, it just that's how the question was worded.
I could probably tell you that easy. Okay. I know the number 1 ranked should be Peyton Manning. Number 2 might be Brett Favre. Number 3 is it? Could be. I don't know if it's Breeze. How many touchdowns? Or yards?
How many passing touchdowns?
Passing touchdowns. Oh yeah, it was. I think it was it Manning with the yards? He broke the record a couple years ago. It was either yards or tutties. How many passing touchdowns? All right. It's. I think he broke like the 500 mark, something like that. Was a bit more than that. I'm gonna say about 520.
I'm pretty sure there's some confusion between what the question is wanting you to say and what.
Oh wait, third highest.
Yeah.
Third highest.
Because
Yeah.
the options are 44, 45, 48,
Oh,
49, and 51.
Oh, single season.
Oh!
Single season one. Okay. Yeah. I see that. I see that make a lot of sense. So what are the options again?
44, 45, 48, 49, and 51.
Okay.
Those are all pretty close together.
I know Peyton broke the 50 barrier. I'm gonna say 49.
The answer is 48.
48. Okay. You know
I mean,
what?
that is pretty close.
That is close.
Let's get into the part that I am a bit more familiar with.
The WWE questions.
The wrestling questions, which are all WWE ones, indeed.
That's good.
When was the WWE founded?
1979,
Exactly.
I believe. Although it had a different name.
Yeah, it had a different name, but there was previously, like somewhere in the 50s, they founded the company that would later become the WWF.
Yes.
But then a different company basically bought them, and that is what technically now is the WWE.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff went out.
But yes, 1979 is the correct answer.
Yes.
And the question, another question was, when did they start making 2K games? But I looked but after I saw the answer, I checked it out, and actually the year they gave was not for a 2K game. It was just when did they start making video games?
Like wrestling games.
Yeah, wrestling video games.
Okay, let me go back from this, right? In 2014, 2015, 2013, wait. Yeah, 2014. Must have been 14 or 13. 13 or 14. That was the 25th anniversary of Madden. And I know that Madden was the first ever sports video game that was like 11 on 11 team sports.
Yes.
Alright? So,
Sure.
that would be late 80s. Now, I could see wrestling games being around that time too. So, I'm gonna say 1988.
The answer is 1987.
Alright, fair enough.
Also, the choices that quiz gave me, which was kind of weird, was 1974,
Way too early.
1987,
Alright.
1989, 1990, or 1990. They
Twice?
put 1990 in there twice.
1990 twice?
There was also at some point in that quiz a yes or no question, which had the answers yes, no, and no. I was like, the fuck?
What quizzes are you looking at when you're doing this stuff?
I mean, I just needed some questions. I did double check all of the WWE ones.
I feel like this internet you've been talking about is not a very reliable source.
I did double check all of the answers for WWE ones.
We should put those quizzes up using books again, like the old school days.
Yeah,
We absolutely should. We also should buy books specifically for a halftime show.
exactly. Who was the longest reigning world heavyweight champion?
Oh, we're playing semantic games, right?
Yes, it is definitely world heavyweight.
It has to be world heavyweight.
Which was the title they, I believe, introduced in the original brand split.
Oh, alright. So it has not WWE in there, just world heavyweight champion.
Yes.
Alright.
So it's after they introduced it, but before they united it with the WWE Championship.
Alright, yeah.
Which is one that's currently still going around.
It's true.
So it's the one before that, basically.
Was it Jericho or was it... I mean, Jericho was Undisputed Champion once?
Yes.
First ever Undisputed Champion?
Which I believe might have had the title in there too. I don't remember exactly though.
Mm-hmm. It could have been Big Dave Bautista. He had it for a long time. Like, okay, so a name that I would kind of just want to say is Triple H because he had everything and everywhere.
He did have everything.
He did have everything.
There is that fun picture with him having literally all the belts, including like the divas and the tag and things.
I would, if they booked that like next week on Raw, I would absolutely believe it too. I'm gonna say Dave Bautista.
So the correct answer is indeed Batista.
It is Batista.
Now, follow-up question.
Right.
How long?
Dude. Okay, back then I did not watch weekly shows.
Yes.
I only learned about this stuff from like history, right?
From history class.
Learned in history class, like history class in school. Okay, let's talk about
Dave Bautista.
Let's talk about the graps for the day. Huge fan. Always loved history class.
That would be a class I would have liked, though.
Absolutely. Would that be gym class or history class?
I would just put both of them. I didn't like them as they were anyways, either one.
Did you not? Gym class is
just
great.
Just talk about wrestling.
Oh, okay. Let me say, I'm gonna just say 1 year.
Pretty close. It was 282 days.
Okay, bit less than a year.
Yeah, but I mean, it's generally in the scale there.
I mean, Brock Lesnar's definitely getting there with the Universal Championship. He's probably holding it for a year.
Yeah.
Until Mania.
I mean, there were also way longer title reigns. There were like multiple year reigns from the original title.
Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah.
Like they had title reigns of like decades back in the old school days.
Like back the old Women's Championship,
I believe Honky Tonk Man had the IC title for ages.
I believe Mae Young had the women's title for like over 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there was consecutive or if there was a swap in there, but there wasn't too many swaps in there.
But that's tough, yeah.
And then the final question that also has a follow-up. What was the biggest WrestleMania crowd? Like, they're searching for the number.
The number. Alright. It would probably be somewhat... Okay, let me think of stadiums where they could have possibly done it. I think, what's the biggest stadium in the United States? I think it's the stadium of Michigan State University, which is like a bit of over 100K people. I'm not sure if they did it there, but that's for football games too. Wrestling, they need a bit less space.
Exactly.
So they can have more. I'm gonna say 110K people.
101,763.
You know where it was?
I did not look up where it was, but I did look up which Mania it was. So you might remember where it was. Also, which Mania was it? That's the follow-up question.
Well, okay, is it just the build number?
Yes.
I think they said that in Mania 32.
Yes.
Was that Dallas?
I'm not sure if it was the... I'm pretty sure it was the build number though, because I don't think the actual attendance was that high.
That was Dallas.
There were someone in the 90,000.
That wasn't Dallas. That was last year.
Yeah.
Last year they won Dallas, yeah. That was Jerry World too. That's the stadium of the Dallas Cowboys. Okay. Their owner's called Jerry Jones and he's rich as fuck, so they just call it Jerry World.
Okay.
It's like $1 billion stadium. It's like crazy.
Sounds more like the Jerry Daycare to me, but
the
term Jerry World.
You know the dude Jerry Jones would need that thing too. Like we could have him in a Jerry Daycare. Oh, that'd be the right place for him. He's a character. All right, so that's the questions.
That's the questions.
Next week, we're gonna say it already. What? Next week, I'm gonna quiz you.
Oh yeah.
Did I already say that?
No, you did not.
Maybe not. Next week, I'm gonna quiz JJ on stuff.
Assuming that the podcasts go up in the order we right now. I'm intending.
Of course they do.
Because if we need to do like predictions for a pay-per-view or something that's right in between there?
No, I don't think so.
Anyways, probably next week.
Maybe we do, maybe we won't. We'll see. Next week or next podcast. Like next time we do. Maybe we could do the other topic too. We could do predictions and then the topic.
It doesn't matter right now.
Wait, no. Predictions don't interfere with it at all. It's halftime show. Predictions are topics.
Anyways.
Next week in the podcast. Fucking hell. I'm quizzing JJ on stuff that he should know about. Maybe he does not. Fact of the week. JJ, what's your fact? Did you write a fact down, JJ?
I totally forgot. But
Bastard.
My fact is that your logic is wrong because we are going to be recording the next podcast right after this, and if we do predictions, that's going to be recorded later.
Fact.
So it would interfere with it. There you go.
Would it? Fact.
Because if we record the Hearthstone quiz and then record the predictions afterwards,
Fact.
and they just happen to be the week between,
Good fact.
that's my fact.
Good fact.
You're wrong.
It's true. Alright, you know what we need to do? You got a calendar in this room as we're sitting out here in our studio, right?
Yes.
We need to mark every single WWE pay-per-view on the day that it happens, and we need to mark all the podcasts. So we know exactly what podcast number we need to do what prediction.
Yes.
As a matter of fact of the week, that is what we are doing after recording this podcast.
Exactly.
Also fact of the week, however, and that is the real fact of the week. Usually back in the day when the death penalty was like used, right? You know how people who are executed get a last meal?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think they did that?
I don't know, but there was that one dude who complained about not getting his SpaghettiOs and said he got spaghetti.
Exactly. I want the press to know this.
I want the press to know this.
There was some interesting stories about it. Okay, here's why they did it, alright? The last meal was granted to a person in order to, because it was believed that they use it to bribe their spirit to not haunt the executioners after death.
Wow.
That's why they did it. That's why they.
That's
originally why that was invented. They would appease the spirit by giving them a final meal of their choosing.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good, but it's also pretty weird.
Yeah.
Fact of the week.
Nice. That is definitely a good fact of the week.
It's a good fact of the week. I don't exactly know how I heard about that, but probably internet.
See, this internet thing is not that bad after all.
I'm giving it a second chance. I am giving the internet a second chance, folks. Okay, we got a second topic.
Yeah, second topic.
Kind of good. Debate time, boys. I like.
You wanted to debate music again, so we're debating music.
Did we
again.
really debate music?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay, here's the thing, right? JJ has a pretty good taste in music. So do I, but JJ's taste in music does lack in some aspects. He does occasionally get some stuff wrong, and I am here today to school him on that and to let you people know to not make the same mistakes that JJ does. Even though he does do quite well when it comes to music, there is flaws, and I'm here to point them out. What do you got to say, JJ?
I'm just waiting for you to point out flaws.
I'm about to point out flaws. Okay, let me pull up my list real quick. All right. Okay, the first thing. All right. This is a very specific thing related to a specific song, but we listened to that song right before starting the podcast.
The Mysterious Mr. Jones.
By Slade. Exactly.
By Slade.
Okay, here's the thing, right? It has been known for hundreds of years. The wisdom has been passed on from generation to generation that the Mysterious Mr. Jones is, in fact, the best song that the band Slade has ever produced.
And I would disagree and say that the best Slade song is probably Ruby Red.
Now, what is your case for putting Ruby Red over the Mysterious Mr. Jones?
I think it's more catchy.
Is it? It is not more catchy. The Mysterious Mr. Jones is the catchiest song by Slade.
Again, I would disagree.
By far.
And the problem is there's no argument to be made for one song being catchier than the other because you can't really qualify catchiness.
Listen. How intense would the catchiness of the Ruby Red chorus have to be in order to beat a near 5-minute onslaught of catchiness that is the Mysterious Mr. Jones? Because the catchiness does not stop in the Mysterious Mr. Jones. Ruby Red has 2 lines, 3 times, 2 lines, that's actually catchy. And that's the chorus. And that's a little catchy. And it comes out of nowhere. The Mysterious Mr. Jones, the first beat, you're hooked. And it goes up until the last one. And it does not stop. The Mysterious Mr. Jones does not get hyped. It stays hyped. Ruby Red gets hyped for like a couple of seconds.
So,
Fact.
the reason why you're hyped, though, is because you like that song so much.
I do like that song. It's a great song.
You don't get hyped for the first note of the song if you don't know the song.
Okay, what song is more intriguing? The lyrics. What song is more, shall I say, for lack of a better word, mysterious?
Okay.
And what song does not just basically debate food?
Okay, fair. Lyrics, Mysterious Mr. Jones wins.
Absolutely.
But
Rhymes?
I think the lyrics don't matter as much if the song is good.
The song is good, though.
So, for like songs that are like not that great, good lyrics can boost them up. But
Right.
I feel like if a song is at a certain level, then lyrics almost don't matter.
What of the two songs tells the better, more continuous story?
That again, the lyrics. That's Mysterious Mr. Jones. That's what I said.
Yeah, but the storytelling is not just lyrics. Storytelling is storytelling. But
it's mostly told through lyrics.
It's got elements in it, you know? Of course, it is told, expressed through words. But still the story, right? You gotta appreciate it. Next would be rhymes. Like writing actual lines, you know? Zingers. Good lines.
Also, when it comes to mysterious
Like beat by
characters that are well written in music,
Alright?
another person does come to mind,
Do they?
which would be the Mighty Quinn.
The Mighty Quinn? Alright. So you got something to critique about my opinion of that song?
So, I think you severely undervalue that song
Do I undervalue it?
because
I did make a statement a couple of days ago, which I think you're referring to.
the same arguments that you bring for the Mysterious Mr. Jones
Right?
would apply to the Mighty Quinn. It's also catchy, it also has good lyrics describing a character telling a story.
It has decent lyrics, not as good as the Mister.
But it also has good lyrics, it also has the character somewhat mysterious, not as mysterious because they do say a lot about him.
The chorus is catchy.
And it is also catchy.
The song is not catchy, the chorus is catchy. 3 times 10 seconds of the song is catchy. Right? The Mighty Quinn chorus is catchy. The rest is not. The whistling at the beginning, semi-catchy. Just the regular lines.
Whistling's always catchy though.
Somewhat catchy. The rest in there, not as catchy. The chorus, yes, I'll give you that. But catchiness, Mysterious Mr. Jones is an onslaught of catchiness. It is 5 minutes of non-stop catchiness. You getting caught. You are getting caught with the Mysterious Mr. Jones. Okay, I made this statement, right? A few days ago, that The Mighty Quinn is not my favorite song by Manfred Mann.
Yes, you did say that.
And I will very much stand by that.
You said it was Blinded by the Light, didn't you?
It was Blinded by the Light.
Yes.
Okay, because Mighty Quinn does not make up in catchiness to make up for the genius that is the lyrics of Blinded by the Light. Also the rhyming. Also, it is still catchy.
Yeah.
Because The Mighty Quinn is a very simple story. Right?
Yeah, of course.
It's very simple and it's very repetitive too. We know less. Okay, listen. If we're gonna compare the character of the Mighty Quinn to the character of the Mysterious Mr. Jones, the character of Mysterious Mr. Jones is built and written way more than that of the Mighty Quinn. Way more. Because all we know of the Mighty Quinn is what happens when he is around, not actually who he is and what he does.
Yes, that's true. You
Oh,
only see his impact.
exactly.
But that tells you a lot about a person.
Like, oh,
Not directly, but...
these people doing this, and then the Mighty Quinn comes around and everyone's happy that he is there. Right? That logic works the same for a dude who sells ice cream. Are you getting what I'm saying? The Mighty Quinn is not does not have to be a special person. Whereas the Mysterious Mr. Jones, he's mysterious, man.
He's Mr. and his name is Jones.
And his name is Jones, man. So, okay, I do not want you to compare the Mysterious Mr. Jones to the Mighty Quinn. Okay, there's a huge difference there. I have, however, never said that The Mighty Quinn is not a good song, and I believe that I value it the exactly correct amount, whereas you undervalue the Mister severely. Let me ask you this question: Ruby Red or The Mighty Quinn?
Okay. Probably The Mighty Quinn.
So The Mighty Quinn over all that is Slade.
But not above all Slade songs combined, but probably above all individually.
That means it would go for you, Mighty Quinn, Ruby Red, then the Mister.
Yes.
That's criminal. That is criminal. Here's the thing, right? Same order, but swap the Mister and Mighty Quinn. I will still pick Ruby Red over the Mighty Quinn, but the Mister of all of that. It's that good a song. It's that good a song. It has everything it needs. It has, okay, in lyrics, it's superior to both of them, right? In continuity, superior to both of them. Character build, more faceted character, superior to both of them. Catchiness, way superior to both of them in continuity, okay? Onslaught of catchiness. Rhyme schemes, the actual lines and delivery of Slade, superior to both of them. Way superior to both of them. Now, I do recognize a certain variable of subjective, recognition in music taste, right?
Yes.
But picking those three songs in that order, you do definitely need to overthink that again. Alright. I do, however, have other points written down. There was only 1 point of 6 or something. Okay, next one, right? This one, I will not put as much blame on you for being blatantly wrong, but I still want to change your mind on this. Alright, have you ever heard of this band called Runrig?
Yes.
Are you aware of that band?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, let me ask you this question. Do you recognize and admit that you undervalue the band? That you not give this band the credit that it should be getting?
That is probably true.
That
I
is
have
true.
been getting around to some of their songs lately.
Here's the thing, right? And
I'm getting used to them.
focusing on one song in particular, and you probably know which one it is.
Is it Loch Lomond?
It's Loch Lomond.
Ooh.
And here's the thing, right? JJ does not like that song.
I do not like that song, but that is the
Here's the
Runrig
thing.
effect, though, as we dubbed it.
It is the Runrig effect. Here's the thing, right? If you are being force-fed something without having a say in it, you will not end up liking it.
That is what we call.
JJ,
That's what we dubbed the Runrig
JJ
effect.
was okay. Your parents are really into Runrig.
My mother specifically.
All right, his mother really into Runrig, and the song "Loch Lomond,"
Yes.
which is great. Now, JJ as a little kid was forced to listen to that song a lot because it was playing a lot,
Yes.
and then he just developed a sort of hatred for that because JJ is the type of person. If he doesn't have a say and he's force-fed something, he will not like that. That's the type of person that JJ is.
Not generally, but yes.
However, if you got beaten as a little kid, that does not mean you never in your life can you enjoy a boxing match. That's okay? So, you're an adult, you're a grown-ass man. It is time to let bygones be bygones. You need to reevaluate your stance on that song.
I could
You
say
need
this.
you need to wipe your mind of bad experience. Do not associate the psychological effect that it had on you, that being, I am going to protest again. I'm going to rebel against that song because I did not like the fact that it was force-fed to me. You do not dislike the song. You dislike what it did to you back in the day.
I could make the same argument
That is
about
a character.
You and Zombie by the Cranberries.
I do have that song written down. And no, it's not the same argument. That song is legitimately not as good.
I admit that it's not one of the greater songs.
It's also pretty
But
bad.
you did bring the exact same argument for not liking it.
It's also pretty bad.
It's not bad. It's not great either. Sure. But it's
not
a decent
great, though.
song.
I did have that written down, along with some other songs, which is another point that I wanted to bring up. Songs that you value too much that are actually somewhat
How
awful.
can you value music too much?
Oh, you can value certain music too much. You can value certain music too much. Listen. 3 songs I've written down out here, right? Walking on Sunshine. Y'all know it. Zombie by the Cranberries and Karma Chameleon by, what's it dude's name? Boy George.
Yes.
All of which
although technically by Culture Club, the band.
Right.
Or Georgia Justice
All
Singer.
of which songs are in the playlist that you have constructed for yourself on YouTube, that you have linked me to in order to exchange music, right?
Yes.
All of which. Okay. Here's my
And
case.
those are, admittedly,
Bad songs.
probably some of the weakest songs in that list.
Songs that are not on your level of music knowledge
Again,
at all.
not the best songs on the list. Not probably below average. Karma Chameleon probably best out of the three. But
Probably.
that's not what we're discussing right
Probably. Okay, listen.
now. Again, I admit that they are worse than most of the songs in there, but that doesn't make them bad.
Okay, listen. Walking on Sunshine is straight up horrendous. It is so bad. It is so annoying.
That's just a combination of nostalgia and catchiness
It
for
is
that one.
awful. How is that nostalgic?
Because it played back in the day.
It played back in the day and it's awful.
And it's catchy.
It's awful. That is the exact opposite to what happened to with Local Oman. It played back in the day. It played back in the day. And to one you responded as, okay, it played back in the day, I remember it, it must be good.
There is a difference between it played on the radio back in the day, like once a week, versus it played on the CDs like 5 times a day.
That is the difference which made you respond to both differently.
It is quantity that's the difference in that case.
Exactly. That is exactly what I'm getting at. That's the difference that made you respond to both songs differently. And those connections, those emotional connections, you need to wipe out. Listen to both those songs again. And if you are the JJ that I know, if you do that, honest to yourself, listen to them both again and wipe the emotional connection. You will not ever say to me that Walking on Sunshine is a better song in any way than Local Amount by Runrig. You will not. I know.
It might, from a pure musical standpoint, not be a better song.
Absolutely.
But again, with the context...
Exactly, but the context you gotta get rid of. We're talking about the best possible music. Not the best possible emotional connection that I had with a song 10 years ago that's still affecting
But
my
evoking
evaluation
emotions is one of the things that art and music in specific does.
That is correct. However, do you think that everything that has evoked emotion or an emotional response from you way back in the day still appeals these days? I do not think so.
No.
If there's a food, right, is there a vegetable that you really like to eat?
There's a lot of vegetables that
What vegetable do you really like?
There's nothing that stands out to me, but I do eat most vegetables.
Is there a vegetable that you hated as a kid?
Probably not really.
Something that you just don't like to eat. Did not like to eat back in the day and you do now.
No, not really.
Okay, so
As a matter of fact, there might be something the other way around.
there is that effect happens to most people though, right? That is kind
I
of the
was
same
never really
thing.
picky as a child.
If you say, okay, that's how, I mean, I feel like a lot of people can identify themselves with that. If your mom forces you to eat your veggies, right? That's a classic scenario.
Yeah.
Right?
I always did it.
Okay, you always did it, but a lot of people, maybe you at some points, were like, shit, I hate this because I'm forced to do it. But later on in life, they reevaluate, they try it again, and they're like, this does not taste bad.
That actually brings up a good point. I feel people severely undervalue spinach.
Spinach is good.
Yeah, spinach is good.
Spinach is good. But
I had the same opinion as a child.
do not drive... I've always liked spinach.
Yeah,
Always
exactly.
liked it. Never hated it.
Exactly.
Always liked it. Okay, but here's the thing, right? You need to evaluate stuff in the here and now, especially the more those emotional connections exist from back in the day, you need to evaluate stuff again. That's how you do it with food. If you didn't like it because you were forced it, and then it's like, I'm not eating this, I don't like it, and then it went through the years, but you didn't try it again, and then later on you got to feel, you go, man, okay, let me try it again, and you try it and it tastes good, and you get over that by yourself. You're like, okay, you know what? This tastes good. I will no longer rebel against me being fat at one point. It's good. It's alright. And the other way around too. Same works with music. Alright? That's
Yes.
exactly...
But
Okay.
the argument of I
Lock
have a
them on.
positive association with this song, get rid of it, doesn't make sense. Because you're telling me to overall reduce happiness. And that even if it's just in a very like unnecessary little facet of things, you never want to do that.
If it's wrong happiness though.
Dude, it's quality of life that we're talking about.
But if it's wrong. That is the thing with the happy pig and the dissatisfied human, right?
Yes.
And
in theory, yes. In practice.
And a very smart philosopher took a very clear stance on that.
Yes, and there were other philosophers who took the opposite stance, but that's not the point right now. There was the whole thing about, maybe a slightly different story, but if you could live in like a perfect world, but it's not real, versus
exactly
living in the reality, but it's not that great.
Real world,
and
all day, every day.
And there were people who took stances on both sides.
That is true.
And that is one of the eternal debates.
You are not the type of person to take the stance of the fake world, though.
Of course.
You're not that type of person.
But it doesn't mean that I can't enjoy music that maybe objectively is not as good as other music.
Here's a fact. You need to... Okay, if you're gonna reevaluate Local Mod, I'm cool with that. Walking on Sunshine, if you're gonna like it, like it. But here's the thing. Here is the thing. Local Mod is your broccoli. Fact.
I like broccoli.
Okay.
I always like broccoli.
It is the broccoli that to other people actually is broccoli.
Also severely undervalued.
Broccoli is good.
People, revalue your veggies.
Revalue the veggies, but you need to revalue your local amount. Okay. Do you have a point you want to bring up about my taste in music that you might want to critique? Because so far, I've just been roasting you.
Well, there is two bands, we've talked about that before.
That's true.
That I value higher than you do.
I might have written one of those down too.
And I feel like you could definitely value them more. Does
it involve stones that are in motion?
Yes, it's the Rolling Stones and Kiss.
It's Kiss too?
Yes.
Okay.
So for Kiss, it's a bit of a different case because there are definitely, I went through a Kiss CD at one point, right, and I probably kept like 20 or 30% of the songs.
Okay.
But there are songs that are good. I feel like are pretty good songs.
That are good. They're decent songs, not great.
And for the Stones, there's also a lot of pretty good songs. And one thing that you always like to bring up is relevance. Like historical relevance. Mm-hmm. And the Stones is one of the bands that is considered classic these days.
That is true.
So, I feel like the Stones especially, but also to some degree Kiss, are bands that you do undervalue.
Okay, now historic relevance is definitely a factor that plays into music. It is, however, not as big of a factor as, for example, as I've laid out, the lyrics, the catchiness, the rhyming, and the character build.
I feel like the Stone songs are maybe not what you typically think of as catchy songs, but they are also catchy in their own way, like Satisfaction, Under My Thumb, kind of stuff.
Let us establish one thing before we get into this topic. Stones or Slade?
Stones.
Preposterous. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Name. Okay, listen. Okay, okay. 5 best Stone songs, 5 best Slade songs in order on one list.
Okay, that's hard. That's hard for both of them, as a matter of fact. Although it's probably harder for this. So
we could, if you want to, we could do the other way around. Okay, we're gonna focus on. Okay, let's just focus on catchiness. Right? Pick the catchiest song of Slade. It's in your opinion, is Ruby Red?
Probably is, yeah.
It's not. Okay. What? Okay, catchiest song by the Stones.
Catchiest?
Yes.
Is either Start Me Up or Satisfaction.
Okay, pick one.
Purely catchiness, probably Satisfaction, but overall Start Me Up is better. But yeah, okay. Let's say
I'm trying to break this down as far as possible to show you exactly what you are saying here. Put one against one. Okay, Start Me Up, you said?
Yes. Well, I said Satisfaction's catchier,
okay,
but yeah.
Okay, let's put up those matches. Let's put number 1 against 1, 2 against 2. Satisfaction? Satisfaction.
It doesn't matter.
Satisfaction against Ruby Red. Start Me Up against the mysterious Mr. Jones. Catchiness.
Yes.
You listen to those 4 songs. Listen to the matchups specifically. And if you're gonna tell me that the mysterious Mr. Jones is less catchy than Start Me Up, you're doing something wrong in your life. You do not have the same sense of hearing that I do have. Or anyone else. Because that is factually not true. That's where opinion stops. That's where opinion stops. Same with Ruby Red. Even though Ruby Red is not as catchy as the Mr. Jones. That is not true. Also, if you're listening to all of this, you need to listen to those songs to be able to evaluate what I'm saying.
Why are we even doing songs of the week, right? With entire music segment.
I do not know. Okay, valuing the Stones over Slade is absolutely ridiculous. Even in quantity, it is ridiculous. And in quality, no question. What band do you have more songs of?
Between those two?
Yes.
Stones,
I
believe.
Are you sure about that?
I am fairly certain.
We will...
It's at least as many as Slade.
Mm-hmm.
There is Start Me Up, Under My Thumb, Satisfaction, Give Me Shelter, Painted Black, just from the top of my head.
That is how many?
That's 5.
That's 5.
And
right.
Slade, I believe, was Far, Far Away, My Oh My, Ruby Red, Mysterious Mr. Jones, and the one I keep forgetting.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
My
Christmas.
Oh My, Far, Far Away, Run, Run Away, We'll Bring the House Down, Ruby Red, C'est la vie, All Join Hands, The Mysterious Mr. Jones, and Goodbye to Jane.
Dude, there is some that I forgot, yeah. Goodbye to Jane was the one I was thinking
That
of.
is 10 songs. 10 songs on the spot. Okay, that's another thing that Jay does. He's looking through his computer right now, looking at the playlist.
Well, okay.
The number of Slade songs on his hard drive
yes.
is nearly double that
But the fact that
of the number of the Rolling Stones.
the fact that I could name 5 out of the 6 Stones songs from the top of my head, and 4 of the 10 Slade songs
It's
also tells you something.
It's a lesser number, obviously. It's a lesser number.
Yes.
The fact that I can name all characters from Life is Strange episode Before the Storm episode 1, as opposed to all characters from The Walking Dead, all 3 seasons.
Oh, shit, I forgot Ruby Tuesday. How could I forget Ruby Tuesday?
Ruby Tuesday, whatever. Okay, it's nearly double that. It is nearly double that. So, 2 Slade songs on one single Rolling Stone song? Ruby Red and the Mister on Start Me Up. You've gotta be kidding me. You've gotta be kidding me if you're still defending that stance.
Okay, so you made a fair point. I tend to forget a lot of the Slade songs for whatever reason.
Right.
Okay, let's say they're at least equal.
Right.
Maybe Slade is a bit better. Fair.
Fair.
But you're still undervaluing the Stones, though.
Am I?
Yes.
It's not a top 10 band. Okay,
It's definitely a top 20 band, though. I would say.
It's a top 20 band.
I'm fairly certain it's a top 20 band.
I'm gonna... Okay, right from now on, I will concede a top 25. I will do that. But top 20, I need to evaluate that. It's not a top 10 band. It is a top 30. Probably top 25, top 20. It's rough.
I mean, that is already a good spot.
That is a good spot. But
Yeah.
it's nowhere near Slade.
And
Because Slade is a top 5 band.
we haven't really
Bonafide.
mentioned them, although I brought them up. It's Kiss, but they're not in the top 25, I would assume.
Probably not.
But they're probably also like a top 50 band.
They're definitely top 50 band. Probably top 40. You think I undervalue them? Why is that? Best song by Kiss? Crazy Nights.
Either Crazy Nights or I Pledge Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll.
Okay.
Which is a way too long title, people.
That is a way too long title. Like, who does that?
And Kiss titles are really long.
Crazy Nights? Not that long.
Wait, what was the other one?
I Was Made for Loving You.
I Was Made for Loving You. That's
Also,
relatively long.
is that the only 3 songs?
That's what I was just thinking. I know that, but I think both Pledge Allegiance to the State of Rock and Roll and
That's not that much. It is not that much.
Crazy Nights are both relatively good, pretty good songs.
They are both... Okay, Crazy Nights
It is the only ones for
Okay,
now.
Crazy Nights is a top 125 song.
That's an oddly specific number.
I'm not sure if it is. Maybe it's
5
top.
to 3.
Maybe it's top 150.
The
maybe,
top 5 to 3 song.
Exactly. Maybe it's top 150. Maybe it's top 100. Maybe it's not. It just might not be. It's probably not a top 100 song. Okay. Valuing. Okay. I'm gonna counter your Kiss argument with a Latin Quarter argument real quick, right? Latin Quarter has 5 songs, and that's a conservative estimate.
Well, again, we're just for reference, we are only naming the song. We're only counting songs that we basically listen to.
Yeah, all right.
Because Kiss does
That's
have
what I'm
way
saying.
more songs, as does Latin Quarter. I would
Latin
assume.
Quarter has 5 songs, from the top of my head, conservative estimate, that are bona fide top 100 songs.
Oh, that's what we're going.
That's what I was saying. And
But still.
potentially 2 or 3 songs that are bona fide top 50 songs. Now, if I ask you this question without naming those stats and without getting you to think deeper about that stuff, had I asked you at the top of the podcast, Kiss versus Latin Quarter,
Okay. Quality of individual songs.
I would allege
Kiss,
him
but quantity
having saying Kiss.
plus quality would be Latin Quarter.
Let me open my playlist up once again. I will surrender to you that Latin Quarter is not as strong as Slate, but I will also say that you are undervaluing Latin Quarter severely. One of the most undervalued bands by you. Okay. Modern Times by Latin Quarter is objectively a better song than all 3 Kiss songs.
I would disagree.
Burn Again, so is The New Millionaire, so is The Men Below.
To be fair, most Latin Quarter songs probably better than I Was Made for Loving You.
Yes.
Crazy Nights and I Pledge Allegiance to State of Rock and Roll, probably not.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna read out all the 6 Latin Quarter songs, right?
Yes.
And you're gonna put them in in the spot where you put them with the Kiss songs, alright? Burn Again.
Burn Again, probably one of the stronger Latin Quarter songs, but I would still put it in between I Was Made for Loving You and the rest.
So it's worse than 2 Kiss songs.
Yes.
Preposterous. Cora.
Same, but a bit weaker than Burn Again, I would say.
Dominion.
Probably stronger than Burn Again, but still in the same slot. I'm pretty sure I'm putting all the songs in that spot.
You're picking Dominion over State of Rock and Roll by Latin Quarter. You're putting Dominion and Burn Again by Latin Quarter under State of Rock and Roll by Kiss. Just for documentation. Modern Times.
Also in that same spot, but relatively low in that spot compared to the others.
Millionaires.
Also that spot somewhere in the middle of the Latin Quarter songs.
The Men Below.
Same as New Millionaires.
Okay, let me do the same thing. Burn Again, better than all Kiss songs. Cora. In between Crazy Nights and I Was Made for Loving You, because that is the number 2 song. State of Rock and Roll is number 3. Dominion, better than all. Modern Times, better than all. The New Millionaires, better than all. So are the Men Below.
Wait a second, you're saying
I am saying
the State of Rock and Roll is worse than I Was Made for Loving You?
that is true.
I would disagree.
That is true, but that's okay. That's Kiss intern. That happens.
Yeah.
But it's a fact. Latin Quarter is unanimously, with the exception of Cora, better than all songs of Kiss that the 2 of us have in our playlist. And Cora is I will surrender Cora to Crazy Nights with a little bit of resistance, but I will do it. Just for the fact of catchiness. Because Cora is not catchy. It's not catchy at all. The rest, up top of all Kiss songs. That's why those 2 bands should not be even compared to each other, honestly. Way better. Okay, I think I got one more point that I written down, or do you have something else?
No, I'm pretty sure we got through all the more important points for me.
Okay, I got some songs that you're kind of undervaluing in general, or another band, but let's get into songs first. Okay, 3 songs that you're undervaluing, each in their own way. We Weren't Born to Follow by Bon Jovi. Okay, here's the thing: you do not undervalue Bon Jovi. We both value Bon Jovi. As the number 1 pick for bands, that is absolutely true. Now, this is also a very minimal difference, but We Weren't Born to Follow.
Pretty much our top 5 is the exact same, just that We Weren't Born to Follow is on your number 1 and it's not in my top 5, basically. Number 5 or something.
That is true. Okay, here's the thing, right? I find for Bon Jovi we can talk about Ceilings and Floor is really good, right?
Yes.
Floor is where it's the worst possible.
The worst possible out of the ones we have.
Where it ranks, and ceiling is the best, obviously, right?
Yes.
That's what they do in sports too, where players have a ceiling and they have a floor.
And that's what they do in math.
Okay, so always it's desirable for a song to have a high ceiling and a high floor.
Yes.
That makes sense. Okay, here's the thing, right? The floor of We Weren't Born to Follow is higher than the floor of Have a Nice Day. The ceiling of both about equal. The floor of It's My Life probably at least as high as the one of We Were Born to Follow. Ceiling about as high. Unbreakable has a lower floor.
Yes.
Okay. It's a number 4. It's probably a number 4 song.
Yeah.
Ceiling all about in that area. But the fact is, and that's what I want to get across, the floor of We Weren't Born to Follow. We Weren't Born to Follow at its worst is better than Have a Nice Day at its worst. That's what I'm saying.
I would disagree with that, though.
You would say the other way around.
Yes.
Okay, why?
I would also say that Have a Nice Day at its best is a slight bit better than We Weren't Born to Follow at its best.
I'm not gonna judge it. I'm not gonna put.
But again,
I'm not gonna put ceilings on those.
That's also just a slight thing, and putting
Because
a ceiling.
it's tough enough to rank the best of the best.
Putting ceilings on Bon Jovi songs in general is for a lot of them is
that's like we're trying to go. Okay, Eddie Guerrero at his very best versus Shawn Michaels at his very best. You know, versus whatever.
Putting ceilings on the best Bon Jovi songs.
It's tough.
There is no ceiling.
Putting ceiling on the very best is tough, and then trying to put them against each other. That's why I'm focusing on floors.
I would say, okay, both the songs, really great songs, of course. Yes. I mean, most Bon Jovi songs
in the worst possible moment of time, I will select We Weren't Born to Follow over Have a Nice Day to listen to on my headphones.
I would pick Have a Nice Day. I feel like it's overall a bit more high energy,
right?
A bit more upbeat, and thereby, of course, I'm not gonna say more catchy because most of Bon Jovi songs are really
We Were
catchy.
Born to Follow has a more rebellious lyrics.
Yes, but
and the lyrics in itself that will get me more pumped up than Have a Nice Day.
Both of those actually, lyric-wise, go in the same direction.
Yes, it does.
As do some of the other Bon Jovi songs.
As does Unbreakable, which is a top 4 song.
And
It's My Life. Obviously.
Like, just from, like, energy and rhythm, I think Have a Nice Day is a bit better.
That's exactly the opposite. Energy goes to We Were Born to Follow. Okay, but you know what? I'm gonna leave you your opinion on that. I'm gonna say that's the margin is so slow that you can break it down to opinion. 2 more songs really quick. Blue Sky Mine by Midnight Oil. You undervalue it.
Not a big fan.
Blue Sky Mine by Midnight Oil is okay. Let's imagine a Richter scale type thing, right? Where the next one number is 10 times better.
Yeah.
If Walking on Sunshine is a 2, Zombie is a 2.3, and Karma Chameleon is a 3. Blue Sky Mine is a 7.5. Fact. It is several hundred times better than those songs. Fact.
I don't think so.
Yes, it is.
Like, at best, maybe a 4, but probably like in the 2 point
Okay,
somethings.
but do you agree it is better than all those songs?
That
at least 10 times.
If we want to do the whole ceiling and floor argument again,
if we're
it's somewhere in there.
If we're gonna do the ceiling and floor argument, okay, the least I'm gonna expect you to say is that the floor of Blue Sky Mine is the ceiling of Karma Chameleon. Same line. Everything the other 2 are below.
Again, Karma Chameleon is the best out of those 3. Okay. We can agree on that.
Is Karma Chameleon at its best as good as Blue Sky Mine at its worst? Potentially.
I don't think so.
That might be blurred. So you think it's better?
I think
than Blue Sky Mine at its worst?
Yeah.
I will give you that the lines are a little bit blurred, but I will also say that in 95% of cases that could possibly arise, Blue Sky Mine is superior to all 3 songs. Last one. Which I don't even know your opinion on that way too much, but I'm not even sure if you have it in your playlist. Maybe you didn't even consider it for real. Look on the Bright Side of Life by Monty Python.
Oh.
Okay, here's the thing, right? That song is a legit song. That song's for real.
Yeah.
It's for real.
But, dude, I would put that probably along the lines of Walking on Sunshine. It's the same, like,
that's not
upbeat, happy, but generally not very serious
Blasphemy.
song.
Blasphemy to compare those 2 songs.
Also, generally not a huge Monty Python fan.
Blasphemy to compare those 2 songs. Look on the Bright Side of Life. Catchiness is up there. Okay, obviously it's up there.
It's catchier than Walking on Sunshine, sure.
Okay, funny. It's one of the funniest songs that there is.
It's, okay, the same arguments you could make for Walking on Sunshine. Probably most of them, those a bit stronger for Looking on the Bright Side of Life. But at the same time, generally not a big Monty Python fan. Kind of associate that a bit with the movie as well, which not a big fan of that one. The Life of Brian or whatever it's called.
Okay, here's the thing, right? When you look at that music video, and you see those dudes being crucified all over the place, and then they start whistling in there with their, and then singing that song with their accents, and the funny lines, one-liners, the zingers that they have in that lyrics. That song is a for real song, and it's not even a song by itself because it belongs to the movie too, right?
Yeah.
So Walking on Sunshine is just a song. All the effort of production went into that song. Always Look on the Bright Side of Life is a song as part of a project, and it is better than a standalone song. That does have value. That does mean something. Any comments on that, or I'll bring up my last thing.
Bring up your last thing.
Alright. The last thing which I wanted to bring along the lines of Latin Quarter is the band called by the name of They Might Be Giants. You undervalue them.
Not a huge fan.
You undervalue certain songs by that band. And I do not know why you do it. Okay, listen, there's Particle Man.
It's a funny song, but most of the time, once it's like half a minute in, I will skip it.
You will skip it.
Because that's not the type of music that I want to listen to normally. Like just like funny songs, that's not, I prefer to listen to some actual rock music,
I get that, but variety has never hurt no one. Let me just say that.
Sure. I mean, I have it in my playlist, but as I said, most of the times I will skip it.
Okay,
partway through the song.
Next there is, and I don't think you really decided on that song yet, but that's Road Movie to Berlin.
It's starting to grow on me. I think it's gonna also end up in the playlist, but it's definitely not one of the top songs in there.
It's not one of the. It's not. It is not a top 50 song. It's not. I never said it was, and I don't think I don't think They Might Be Giants need to produce top 50 songs. They're not that type of band. But okay, but last one, right? Istanbul.
Don't like that song.
He does not like that song, and there is no reason for him not to like that song. It is the most catchy one out of all three. It is, along Particle Man, probably the funniest. Also,
talking about like creative lyrics and stuff. Like half that song is just repeating that one tagline, Istanbul, not Constantinople.
Obviously, right? That's not what I'm expecting of the Might Be Giants, though. Even though Particle Man is creative, it's supposed to be entertaining. It's funny. They Might Be Giants is stand-up comedy in musical form. And it is to be valued and appreciated for that. But
at the same point, you could make the same arguments about the epic rap battles of history.
Of course.
I'll listen to them, but I won't put them in my playlist.
I appreciate the epic rap battles of history. Absolutely.
But I would never put them in my playlist.
I would not put them in my playlist, but with the reason that I need picture. I need the video. I need the imagery. And if I'm just listening to something, I can listen to They Might Be Giants. I can't just listen to an ERB.
You could.
I need the facial expressions. I need the surroundings. I need the effects. I need the costumes. I need the actors.
I'm sure it makes it better.
Because the epic rap battle of history is not a song. It is a movie. It is a small movie.
But the core of it is the song.
It is a music video.
Yeah, of course.
It is a music video. It is a video that contains music.
You just made the exact same argument for the Monty Python thing.
Right.
Like that the movie makes it better.
It does make it better.
It makes it better that it's from a movie.
I'm saying that the Monty Python song the quality of the song does not depend on the video to such a degree as that the epic rap battles of history do.
I would say that the epic rap battles can be enjoyed just for the texts without the picture.
I cannot enjoy
But again, I wouldn't want it in my normal playlist.
I can watch ERB. I can watch it on YouTube. I can watch the video. I cannot enjoy it without the picture because
you're constantly quoting it.
Of course, but all the interaction that is going on, right? That's the entertaining part. That's the entertaining part. And Monty Python, Always Looking on the Bright Side of Life, is more of a standalone song than the ERB is. But back to They Might Be Giants, right? Stand-up comedy in musical form. It's to be appreciated for that. It is not the greatest band of all time. No top 50 songs. But you're undervaluing them anyway. You're not recognizing them for what they are. If you're going to take them for being a legit band and nothing but a band and not a comedy act, like not even 5%, you're not seeing the full picture. That's all.
Yeah, of course. I'm saying I'm not going to put a comedy act in my, I'm not going to enjoy a comedy act as part of my musical playlist, because that's what the musical playlist is for.
You do not need to enjoy it to the same degree that you do enjoy
Like,
other stuff that is legit music.
That I'm pretty sure the big difference in there between us is that you have multiple playlists for different circumstances.
That is absolutely correct.
I just have one playlist that I always listen to.
Well, that does take a lot of variety from you. That makes you very much less flexible.
But that also every now and again throws me a curveball, and I'm like, yeah, that's a thing.
Baseball reference.
Without necessarily having the limitations of a smaller playlist.
All right.
Because where's the point of having multiple playlists if you mostly listen to one of them, and you just have the songs just in case? Then I'm just might as well not add them to my playlist and listen to them on YouTube when I want.
I will say that the main playlist that I have is the one that I use for myself when I'm alone. An expansion of that is the one that I use when I'm with acquaintances like you.
Okay.
And we listen to it.
And Particle Man is in that playlist, which I know.
Particle Man is absolutely in the playlist. It is not, however, in the playlist that I listen to by myself.
Exactly. And for me, I mostly have the playlist to listen to when I'm alone, and when there's someone here, I might put it on.
Exactly.
But that's just the same playlist.
That is the thing, right? That's just the problem with the flexibility of your music. Okay, are we going to get into the song of the week? Because that was a hell of a debate.
I almost feel like we don't need to, but we're doing it anyway.
We're doing it anyway. We dropped so many good songs today, but let's do it again. My song of the week, in reference to the debate, Modern Times by Latin Quarter.
And my song of the week, trying to get a bit away from the debate,
Right?
is Kayleigh by Marilyn.
What?
It's Kayleigh by Marilyn.
What?
I'm gonna show it to you later.
Okay, that's a good idea. All right, well, man, that might have been the longest podcast so far.
I'm pretty sure it is.
We do get caught up in music.
Yeah.
We are passionate about
After
that.
the space travel thing, I was like, the halftime show doesn't seem like it's gonna
Halftime show wasn't that long, but that was
it was. It didn't seem like it at first from the notes.
It wasn't all.
But it was like 20 minutes long.
We've had longer halftime shows.
We've had longer ones.
But that was, like, the music debate was way over half hour time.
But that was surprisingly long, and then the second topic was really long.
Absolutely crazy.
And yeah, that dragged out.
That is our songs of the week. You need to check all those out. Also, you need to check all the songs that were name dropped during the entire debate, except for Walking on Sunshine, because it is objectively, legitimately horrendous. JJ.
That's it.
That's it.